Hey guys, and welcome to week 25 of my devlog for Finding Home, the zombie game I'm making. I'm just going to tab out because, as always, this is the first Tuesday of the month. And being the first Tuesday of the month, there's always new free assets. I always recommend picking these up. Um, just in case you're ever going to make a game, or if you ever want to join me or anything like that. It's always good. It's just free assets and stuff. This week, again, I just hope to quickly go over them and what they could be used for. Again, when you just click on the Unreal Engine tab, you could just find them here in the marketplace. They're usually just right down there, but if you, for some reason, didn't see it, you could always just go to the free section and the free for the month, and they're going to be right here. There's usually always one permanent free item that will come later on, but yeah, let's just quickly go over them. So the custom shape volume, Timmers has done a couple of free items so far. Like he did an open world spawner, and this is his second, I think, free asset that he's given, or that's been a part of the free for the month. And this just does kind of what it says. It creates cylinder objects or customizable volume shapes that you could edit. So the dreamscape nature is just like a cartoony, kind of almost like Breath of the Wild's kind of art style. It's just a bunch of assets, so it's always good to have assets and stuff like that. So it pretty much just does a template sample kind of world for you. Gives you flowers, grass, trees, and stuff like that if you're going to try to build more of a stylized kind of world, I'd like to say, or cartoon kind of world. A lot of the people are going for that. Water, just in case if you need the water too. It's a pretty decent set if you for free if you are building that style or that artistic style of game. The next one here is just for people who are doing magics or an RPG. This is magic circles. This one here, I have other products from this guy. He too has had a couple of different assets now that have gone the free for the month, and this one is just it's allows you to change the textures and generate new textures quite easily. One of the samples so it just shows you here by just putting certain things on this. It allows you to change what the outcome would look like adding this line here or adding the logo here. He just puts the logo stamp right in the center here, and then it's going to add it here. So it's kind of cool to add different unique. See here, he's adding like little cylinders, but it's adding a texture map to the door to make it look more like sci-fi. One of the things that's really good with this is you could use it to make impressions and stuff on the road, or add water to make some, or even add grime and stuff like that. Like this here was probably just a clear green metal roofing, and then he added dirt to it with the generator, and so you could do a lot of cool things with it. And then the last one here is a foliage plugin that allows you to convert foliage into actors. Now, why would you want foliage into actors? Saving and loading. I'm not too sure if that's what I would really be using it, but one of the big things is that foliage is one way to easily scatter objects that are attached to your landscape, and to be able to put that into an actor format allows you to stream them in with level streaming if you wanted to, for example, because it's an actor now. So normally foliage is just always a part of the world because it's a part of the landscape. Another thing is, yeah, just you could make it disappear, reappear. You could do a lot more. It gives the foliage a lot more example to act, so you could chop wood with it and stuff like that. I'm still chopping wood with my trees, but it does give you a lot more stuff that you could do to the foliage, and you could sometimes just use other textures or sorry, other aesthetic meshes that aren't even foliage but use it as a foliage object and then turn it into an actor if you just wanted to quickly place a bunch of stuff down and scatter it in different ways or randomized, and then yeah, you could use a tool like this to turn it into an actor. It is a plugin though, and I'm not a big fan of plugins, because if I pick this up this month for free, and then somebody else wants to work on my game, I try to pass them my files or whatever. If they don't have this plugin, then we run into complications. So because then they'd have to buy the plugin because it's no longer free, because it's only free for this month, and maybe they didn't pick it up. And again, that's why I'm always suggesting to pick up all the free stuff if you're ever thinking, hey, maybe I might make a game with Dan or join in or make a game my own. Just play around, because the Unreal Engine is extremely fun, and when Unreal Engine 5 comes out, it's just going to be that much more fun, because it'll be easier just to throw in anything without having to worry about proficiency as much, because you just switch all the objects to nanite and it just loads it in like crazy. Alright, so that being said, that's done with the marketplace, new assets for the week, I believe. Let's move on to the game. Like I said, every week I'm packaging. This week you won't see too much changes here. I have a bear. Let's see, there's a pig. And so I've been just pretty much doing the animals, making sure they drop stuff. I'm gonna change obviously what they drop to, like skins and meat, but I just wanted to make sure my inventory manager was on them so that they could drop stuff. Yeah, so they're just dropping anything right now, like flashlights, health potions, which wouldn't be I'm not gonna have health potions. That's like something that comes with the template. And again, you still have all these guys here. If I wanted to go in and fight them. All right. So with the package, that's all I kind of did, was I just kind of threw in some animals, and I'll go back to the game here and show you. So like I said, I threw in the pig, threw in the goat. We didn't see the goat. I guess he ran off. Threw in the bear, and I threw in a chicken. And they all work. The chicken probably ran off as well. They all are running. But if I go to ground zero, my animals, let's bring this up a bit. So these are the animals that I have. So the bear, I made two different, an aggressive bear, and so by default this bear is aggressive. The other bear is not aggressive by default, but can attack. If he just sees you, it just feels like attacking you. It has like one of the options of what it can choose, and if it wants to attack you, it can attack you. But this is just straight up an aggressive bear. If he sees you, he'll go for you. And again, I could just place these in wherever, or I could use a spawning volume. Boar, I had the same thing, aggressive and non-aggressive. Chicken's not aggressive, it's just a chicken. You'd kill that for chicken meat. Got male and female deer. Eagle, frog, goat. Goliath is a fish. I have a couple different types of fish. Rabbits, rats. So as you see, I got all these animals. They're all in. They work. So what I'm moving on to next is what you can see here is I'm moving on to weapons. So if I play here, well, I'm gonna move this back down here. And play. So as you can see, I got this axe that I have added into the game. It's a hatchet, and if I equip the hatchet, it goes on my back there. Tab, you can see it in my inventory. I can put it in my bag. I can put it. I could hold it. Right. There's that bear over there. I'm gonna kill him before he decides to attack me. He just feel like attacking me. There you go. And with the hatchet, again, if I equip it, now that I have the weapons, like I was saying before, all the trees are interactable. I'm doing it in a different way. I'm using a component instead of having them as actors. Again, I don't like plugins. And yeah, tree falls, I'll just keep gathering the wood. It's a tree. See, the tree already respawned, but obviously if I could have different respawn rates so that the trees take like a day or something to respond. The big thing with the wood obviously is if I hold the blueprint here. Remember, there's still that building that you could do. Oh, shit! You made it out. Okay, it's rare. Anyway, let's hold the blueprint. Yeah, so build a foundation. That's pretty good. Let's see. Wall. Window frame. Door frame. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I could also build some more walls here. Maybe another window wall. And again, that's why you would have, that's why I put the hatchet in. And, sit here, you damage the wall. Wall breaks, falls apart. Right. Now, I did. I've been hearing a couple of family and friends that a couple of people are taking programming in school, and they think it's really cool that I'm making a game, and they would like me to go over a couple of things on how I did stuff. For instance, maybe even how one of the things I was trying to think of to show today is the hatchet, since I'm just making that now, right? How it has inventory depending on how you hold it or where you put it. If I just go and equip it instead of holding it, how these icons here and how I made them. It's one of the things I was gonna go over. I just put this weapon in the game, and as you can see, I have the icons right here. So the way I'm going to be making a lot of like 2D art and stuff like that, because I'm not an artist, would be in game. So one of the kits that I have has it's an icon maker. See, I have the axe here, and if I go to textures, icon renders. So, how I would go about making this texture, I just bake it and I choose its name. But before that, like, say if I wanted to make a new weapon here, say if I wanted to do modern hatchet. So now I have the modern hatchet there, because it'll be one of the different variants of the hatchet that I'll be getting in there. I'll be going back over to my rendering. Make sure I do not have alpha on. I want to be able to see it. And when it's equipped, the size of my equipped image is 256 by 512. So I just do it, but it's 256 wide by 512 tall. As you can see, this axe is a little bit bigger, or doesn't fit quite in the screen. So I could just change my size here, maybe 15 by 15 by 15. And let's just see. Oh, it's getting there. 14, 14, 14. Yeah, it looks like a pretty simple image. I could probably run with that. And so once I'm happy, I make sure that this and my render maker are the exact same size. Once that's the case, I go over to my icon maker, and I could call it hatchet modern equip icon, and I could bake the texture, and then I have my texture there, and I'll move it over to my folder over here. And then if I wanted to make like the icon that's in the quick slot, for instance, that's just 64 by 64, so it's smaller. Obviously, to fit the picture, I'm going to have to again edit this axe here. So I'm going to go down to the skeleton mesh of the axe, and maybe I keep this up for reference on the side here. Move this over, and I'll go like 10. Oh, maybe 6. Yeah, 6 by 6 by 6, and then it fits in my little square. That's pretty decent for that. If I wanted to lay the axe down, or if I wanted the face horizontal, I could just, or maybe if I wanted diagonal, I could do something like that, and that way it looks different maybe. And then again, I would just make sure that in my renderer it's going to be 64 by 64. Save them, save that, and then I would rename this to not equipment but quick slot. So my quick slot icon, and I could bake the image. And I got my quick select icon, and I'll move that here. And that's how I'll be making some of my just simple boom 2D assets, right? And then I think I'd have one more where it's just in the inventory. You've seen it when it was standing up or horizontal. So it would just be using the inventory hatchet, which in this case I think I had it 128. So it's 2 slots wide by 1 slot tall. And again, if that's the case, I'd want to either put it something like that, or I just want to go straight back up with it. But I want to be doing that with the static mesh here, so not the camera. And then move it slightly, let's bring it up, center that, and yeah, it looks about good. I just make sure my render is the same. 128, 28, 128, save, go back to my icon maker, and call this INV for inventory. And I will pick that. Oh, move here. And then for here, I would add, then I have to add an item. I have to add its, here's an example of items that I have in my game. So then I have to say what slots I can attach it to. I have to add the pictures in, to, and the static mesh, of course. I have to give it equip animations and unequip animations. So it is a fairly lengthy process in the background, but for the most part, I'll be just doing some basic stuff just to get everything in there, and then I'll be working from there. Um, so that was the first kind of thing of showing somebody of some of the type of work I do. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Just getting things in there and testing things around, and yeah, and then I have my and then for the most part, then once you get the asset, it's just almost as simple as just dragging them in and using them once you have everything set up. For building, I will probably be using the blueprint just because I don't. It's just the simplest way to know when to open the interface for the user interface. Um, but again, I'll take people's feedback and how this stuff to do, how people want to do it. With this interface you see at the top there, so instead of leaning, it's going to be using the raise and lower end of the building, and instead of shooting, it's going to allow you to place and drop stuff. Obviously, it would be left and right shoulder for a controller, X and circle, and stuff like that, and square to rotate. But yeah. So this week I feel like it doesn't look like I did much because I was working on getting all these animals in, getting the hitboxes set up for the bear. Oh, I had to change. I gotta move this forward, but I wanted to make sure so when the bear lunges at you, kind of just like pushes you back and he swipes at you. Let's see if I can get him to attack me actually. So I wanted to. I was trying to fix up the bear's animations, stuff like that. Just get something basic that worked. Because since he's not like the wolves and stuff like that, oh, maybe I'll just throw in an aggressive bear. What am I thinking? Animals, bear, aggressive. And then for the most part, once you have stuff in, you can just kind of toss them where you want them. There we play. That's supposed to be an aggressive bear. Let's turn him to face me. Rotation. Not see me. There you go. And then so yeah. Just wanted to make sure that testing it, he could swipe me, kill me. There's a bunch of that stuff that I was doing. Originally I had a hitbox problem that I had to get fixed because unlike the wolves and stuff, he actually jumps up onto you, so wanted to make sure that he could actually get on you. Alright. I think that's all I had to show this week. And again, sorry for it being longer than usual, but since I don't have to worry about upload times and size so much anymore, I'm definitely more willing to show you guys more stuff, just like the 2D art and things like that. If you guys have any more questions or concerns, or if you don't like what you see or you have different ideas or stuff like that, as long as it's not too sidetracking from getting things put in and just polishing it off, then I'll try to get her done. But after I get so this week I'll be trying to do melee weapons, getting the melee weapons in. Next week I might be trying to get my rifles in. All these are weapons. They're all different types of guns. I could just give you a quick show again, I got these assets from the store. This that. Camera speed, slow down. This is one of the guns. Iron take. Alright. We have a bunch of different types of guns though. Shotgun. So I'll be doing melee weapons first, and you guys have seen a bunch of the melee weapons last week, like the scythe and the katana and stuff like that. This is one of the guns here, and as you can see, the guns have different skins to them too. That I have. So I could make them different colors and stuff like that. Just like the hatchet, you see that I have the yellow, the modern version of the hatchet. I got a clean axe, and I have stuff like that. And again, when with the axe, I do have blood and a bloody version of the materials too. If you're actually chopping away like a zombie or stuff, you want blood on the axe, and then that's just again keeping it simple. I'm not too sure if we're going to be adding the FX, the major FX to this simple version, where if you hit the tree, wood, and if you hit the ground, dirt, and if you hit like the different physics materials for every single asset, whether you're splashing water, concrete, asphalt. I don't know if I'm going to say that for the later on in the when I get the big map in, just so I can just focus on getting things out. Like I said, so next week I hope to get weapons. Week after that I hope to get guns, and after that is just again just level building, build out the levels. I already have a start on what levels I'm gonna have in, and I'm just gonna start editing them. So if I go to ground zero, I go to maps. I have a bunch of different maps here: parking lots, offices, camps, city. If I zoom out here, so the idea for this map is just pretty much you battle a military compound in here, military compound, a science facility with an underground subway track that connects underneath the mountain to a big city that will be over here, and then the city will be a big city, so I'll have it, that's why it has the subway. And yeah, then this just big open map with gonna have the trees and everything like that just kind of painted throughout, so you could every single one of these trees, believe it or not, you could just hack down and use for wood. The bushes are for plant fibers, for cloth and stuff like that. I can get some mining rocks in there for ore and things like that if that's what it is. But right now it's getting closer to something that you would see like rust. Oh, that's one of the things people are asking me. What was my intentions when I started this project? What did I want? And the main goal with this project, if I get the game, everything out working the way I want, what I felt was missing, because I get like my RPGs are down, like Final Fantasy's great, and we got Scarlet Nexus and a bunch of, there's always good RPGs. I never have any complaints with those. My complaints is with like shooters, and sometimes just like survival games in general. So sometimes like I'm sitting with the boys and we want something more challenging, and so we play something like Killing Floor. It's a nice, and I think it's probably one of my favorite zombie games. It is really tense. It's great, and yeah, it's probably one of my most favorite kind of shooters when it comes to killing zombies and stuff. But the problem with that is sometimes the boys aren't there. You know what I mean? You don't have all 6 people, so you want something to do on the downtime. And that's where a game like more like Rust or The Forest is where I would actually prefer to play, for that kind of like just chill out, build your base, kind of thing. But I don't know why a game can't have both. You know what I mean? And that's the main thing with this project. I want a game where, okay, you have a map where the boys are there, you go in, you do some difficult content, you just go storm a whole base and kill everything. But then you have this another map, or maybe even like, so what I'm doing is like story maps pretty much, where more just something, so there's just some maps in there, and so there's going to be a pretty basic map. I don't, like I said, there's going to be no character creation and all that stuff in this map, but if I get it all done, because it is a pretty big view and there's a lot of stuff that I've been adding, um, is that you have one overall arcing character. So whether you're just doing a chill map where you're building the base and defending yourself, you're gaining resources, you're gaining transmogs, or like different looks and weapons and stuff like that. And then the boys come and you want to do some difficult content, you could carry that to the difficult content. You're using your base to kind of store up on med packs and stuff like that, so when you go to do the difficult content, you have a bunch of stuff prepped for it. And if you probably went into that difficult content without being prepared, you're probably just going to get destroyed. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point, is like, so when you have that downtime and the guys aren't there, you have something to do. And again, killing floor, it's like, okay, the guys aren't there, well, I guess I just can't play the game. You know what I mean? And then you have the forest, well, the guys are there, there's just nothing difficult for you to do. It's more of a relaxing kind of, oh, well, you know what I mean, kill stuff, build stuff, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I was hoping for, is that if everything goes well with this project, I want to have multiple maps. Like I said, I'm doing it map based, and so you have, and you can transition and keep your stuff from map to map. So you have one map where, yeah, you just chill. You, maybe it's just a map you're just building stuff, and you go out and get resources and stuff like that. And then when the guys are there, you have another map that you dive into, and that way it could also set difficulty levels, right? So one map is like nightmare, really hard. You know what I mean? Another map is a little bit easier. Again, the better, kind of cooler stuff I'm hoping to put in the harder maps, so it gives you an incentive to kind of go for that. So some stuff you could just build, some stuff you're gonna have to earn. You know what I mean? And that's, again, the way I'm gonna balance that is through community and feedback. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I've talked enough. Took a lot of your guys' time. Thanks for listening. Tell me your thoughts and stuff like that again. And I hope to see you next time. Cheers.